What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be showing you how to make the repo truck. Now, this will include the inside of it. I'll show that off in a second. But yeah, here is the base truck. Definitely weird to get the shaping and stuff of this right, but overall, it's a fun one to build. And here is the inside. As you can see, a lot of very questionable blocks used. You see, these are dispensers, you got pistons, you got the whatever those are called, I forget. Anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Here are all of the materials you will be needing for this build, I think. Now, this is for the exterior, but I'm sure I missed something because there's a billion materials. Didn't include interior because, again, I'm trying to make this list semi-understandable. Alrighty, and the space you need for this is a 12 by 29, and the materials you will be needing to start off are blackstone stairs, blackstone blocks, andesite walls, deep slate tiles, deep slate tile slabs, iron trapdoors, mangrove trapdoors, stone slabs would probably be important, and anything else that would be good to start with. Maybe, perhaps, gray concrete. I don't know if we'll actually use it yet, but I mean, it is the main material in this thing, so you want to start from the front right hand corner of your 12 by 29 space, golf if you minute, or the front right hand corner of the vehicle, either or, and you want to start by counting left by 2 and back by 4, and you want to place a blackstone stair facing back. Behind it you want a blackstone stair facing forward, and then on top of those you want the exact same thing, just with upside down stairs rather than right side up stairs, which will give you a little bit of a square, pretty much. You'll leave a gap of 3 going back from that, or count back by 4 to this block, and on it you'll place an upside down blackstone stair facing forward. Behind it you want 2 blackstone and then another upside down stair facing back. Extend either upside down stair up with 2 blackstone, and you should have a U shape. Now from this U shape you're going to leave a gap of 3, and you're going to copy that U shape 2 more times, with the gaps of 3 in between each. So essentially, it'll look like this. Fill in the center of the U-shapes in with andesite walls. So again, they'll be 3 blocks apart from each other, and there will be, I guess, 4 wheels in total. Like so. You can, going left, you'll leave a gap of 6 from each of these, and you'll copy them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm really bad at math. What? Oh, yeah, never mind. I'm correct. Sorry. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it'll be here. You will copy all of them. I got thrown off by that row of the grid there, but we're correct. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. Went outside, so that's something. Just walked outside and then immediately back in. You know, I'm just kidding. I was outside for more than a minute, which could mean a lot of things. It could mean 2 hours, or it could mean 2 minutes. I guess you never know, and I'll never tell you. Anyway, from this point, you want to take the frontmost set of wheels, which is the smallest one, and you want to extend the bottom stairs in with upside down blackstone stairs facing kind of towards each other, like so. Towards the sets, I guess. Towards the center? Whatever. On top of those, you'll place blackstone stairs facing, or just regular blackstone stairs facing in, like so. From this point, I want to take the front wheels specifically, and off of the right and left of them, you want to place deep slate tile blocks. I guess on the outside of them, you'll place deep slate tile blocks. It'll extend the blocks forward and backward by 1, and then you're going to place slabs on those front and backmost blocks. On the center 2, you'll place just regular deep slate tiles. And then underneath the deep slate tiles that stick over, you want to place upside down stone slabs. And it should give you this. What we can do is, before we do the rest of the wheels, in line with that, like, top row of the wheels, which is this row right here, the black stone with the andesite walls, you want to place a row of gray concrete just inside of either. At the front wheel here, it'll stick forward by one more, and this doesn't include the 2x2, by the way. It is just the larger ones, but it'll stick one forward there, and at the back, it'll stick one further back as well. And you want to do this on both sides. This will just kind of help us so we know where the truck is now, rather than having to build that in later after we already have the, you know, wheel hubs in, I want to say. There's definitely an official term for them, and I feel like it's hubs, but I also feel like that hubcap is probably what I'm thinking of, but I don't think that's right. Anyway, yeah, you should have this. So, from this point, you can, off the top row of the wheels, you want to place a row of deep set tile blocks on the outside. The only real reason for the upper row is from both the inside and outside. You can kind of see that in as a wall row, so we do want it. But, yeah. And you want to do this on all 6 at the same time, because it's just easier that way for at least me. You'll extend the deep set tire rows out an additional 1, so they stick off the ends of the wheel by also 1. And they'll end up being the same length out as the gray concrete, if that helps you for any reason. And they'll be 1 block apart? Yeah. The middle 4 deep set tile blocks you'll bring up by 1. And then off the middle 2 of the top there, you'll place stone slabs above. This might be a very long tutorial. Well, not very long, but like, you know, 30, 40 minutes. You should have this. Now, I say this includes the front wheels. Yeah, it does. Each deep set tile block on these little wheel covers at the top, you want to bring the bottom row of them in by 1 where you can. Obviously, some of them will have problems with the tires being in the way. Just do ignore that, I suppose. But yeah, it's just like those deep set tiles right there. From this point, I would take those frontmost wheels, which are these, and just bring the upside on stone slabs right by 1, and they won't really do anything. It'll look a little weird with the black stone stairs there, but these wheels just gave me fits anyway, and I decided that this was good enough. So on the rest of them, the larger ones, if you take where the andesite walls are here on the outside below the deep set tiles, you want to place mangrove trapdoors up against them on those middle 2 blocks on each wheel. Then under every other deep set tile block here, you'll place iron trapdoors. And then after this, we'll be able to start building up the sides pretty much. I think there's one other thing we had to do for the wheels, maybe? Unless I'm wrong. I might be wrong, actually. You should have this. I think I am wrong. I don't think there's anything else. What we can do, though, is I would advise clearing your inventory here, just so we can get a fresh start. And you want to get out gray concrete again, cyan terracotta, polished deep slate, polished deep slate stairs, polished deep slate slabs, polished andesite stairs, regular andesite blocks, and what else would make sense here? I don't really know, actually. We might just go with that. Well, we can get out blackstone again, and bamboo planks. Kind of a minor step, but we might as well. So, you want to take this gray concrete, and at the very front, you can connect the gray concrete together. Left to right. We're not really going to worry about the front pair of wheels yet. Those will come in probably closer to the end of the, at least outside of this. At the back, what you want to do is... So, this gray concrete here on both sides, you want to connect them together with cyan terracotta. And then the entire floor in here, you'll just fill in with cyan terracotta. That'll be more helpful for later. As in for the interior, I guess. If you don't care for my interior, then, you know, you can make this whatever, but I would probably still stick with cyan terracotta because I think it works. One thing we do have to adjust before we... oh my god, before we bring up the walls, sorry, I just like had a entirely brain aneurysm. On the left side here, or I guess both sides, you want to take between these front 2 wheels. And so between these front 2 wheels on the left and right of the larger ones, you're going to place a polished deep slate sticking out of the gray concrete like so. You'll extend it forward by 1 and back by 1 as well. I would say 2. Okay, well, you can then take those rows of 3 polished deep set and extend them up a row. And then you'll extend back with 2 polished deep set from there. We don't want to break the blackstone of the andesite walls because, again, they are barely, but they are visible. So we don't want to really cover those, but we do want a row of 5 deep set. You'll then extend this row of deep set forward with what should be 5 gray concrete, along with back with 10. And so you will be diagonally up, and you'll have this kind of gray concrete trim on the floor. Because the walls are double layered, don't really worry about that, though. Let's start with the, like, front of this. So if you take the gray concrete here, you want to, on these, like, upper ones, you'll go forward diagonally in with another gray concrete and then connect them together. Extend that particular row of gray concrete up with 5 rows, which I think will give you a square. Should be a 6 by 6. Yeah, like so. On the left and the right, you'll take these gray concretes, and you'll extend these sides up by 5 as well. Which is basically up against the polished deep set, and obviously the actual edge there. In the center, you can place a singular row of gray concrete extending up, then 3 rows of polished andesite stairs facing out. That's fantastic. How did I even manage? You know what? I don't want to know. And then place another row of gray concrete on top. Up diagonally in from all of that, you can fill in the ceiling with gray concrete. So it'll basically be sticking up a row. This truck has some very weird, like, edges and stuff going on. It reminds me of the Lethal Monsters a little bit because, like, they're all just really weird geometry. Like, you don't notice it when you're playing, but when you're trying to recreate it, you definitely can tell that it's just a little bit off. Anyway, with the polished deep set, you kind of want to do a similar thing. You're going to extend these side polished deep sets up by 5 on both sides. But this time you're connecting the top 2 rows of polished deep set together and placing 1 more at the bottom as well. So 1 at the bottom, 2 at the top. And it'll give you a 2 by 3 space in theory. Most towards the front, the top corner, which is going to be this block, you're going to place an upside down polished deep set stair facing back in. And you see it'll kind of look like this from the right. And from the left, it'll look like this. On top of the polished deep slate, at the very top here, you're going to place a row of polished deep slate slabs, and then you'll connect those slabs together with polished deep slate blocks. Nice. Above the window, the 2 polished deep slate blocks that don't have an upside down stair below them, which will be the backmost 2, you'll place a gray concrete outside of. Then from... Really, I'm going to go with the backmost one. You'll go up diagonally back with a black stone. And then you will extend that black stone forward with a bamboo plank and then another black stone. And it'll give you that black and yellow pattern. You could use black and yellow concrete if you want. I just like the black stone and bamboo because of the texturing. But it's up to you. Thanks, Poppy Playtime, for that one. But yeah, anyway, this is what your truck should look like overall on one side, or on the, I guess, left side. And here's what the right will look like, just so you have all your bases covered. Next up is the back section, which is fairly easy. Now, you want to start by placing 4 rows of gray concrete on top of either side. I think we're going to have to destroy some of it on the right. No, actually, not yet. Well, I say not yet, I mean we don't. Saying not yet because in the anticipation that we would keep doing it this way, but we won't. I'll change it. So on the right side here, make sure you're on the right again. The window is to your left right now. Going front to back on top of this top row of gray concrete, you're going to place 4 gray, gap of 3, and then 3 andesite. You'll kind of fill in between these a block in to the kind of left, I guess, with gray concrete like so. And then from this top row of polished deep side here, this furthest right row, you're going to go back with 3 gray concrete. Then leave a gap of 4 and place 3 andesite again, kind of diagonally up from the previous. This row of 3 gray concrete you place that's kind of diagonally in there, you'll place a gray concrete behind it. And if you take the andesite here, you're going to extend it left with 2 rows. Focus on the left side now. We're going to do this differently because that was terrible. You want to start from this bottom row and from this polished deep side here, you're going to go back with 4 gray concrete. Then right 1. Back 3. Back diagonally left 1 and back by 2. Then the next row up, you're basically placing gray concrete, but you want to make sure you don't go on top of any of the gray concrete we have, so you're just tracing it pretty much. And as you see, I really didn't trace it very well, because you do just want to fill in the rest of the top here in with gray concrete. Again, make sure on the right side here where we don't have anything going on, you do just not go over any of the gray concrete. But from above, it should look like this. Cool. Directing your attention to the back briefly, if you take the gray concrete on these sides here, you want to extend it up on both sides with 5 cyan terracotta. If you're looking at it, the left, you'll place an andesite, and the right, you'll place a gray concrete. It should be self-explanatory which goes on which side anyway, though. And we'll worry more about that later. Fun fact, I didn't have that andesite placed. I literally just noticed it. I don't have it in the original repo world, which is just fantastic. If you follow me on Instagram, that would have been the one from that post, and the block still probably wouldn't be there, but I don't know if you can see it or not. Anyway, get rid of your, I guess, blackstone and bamboo planks, and get out andesite, stairs, and block of coal. And actually, we might want to get rid of polished andesite, stairs, and get out oak planks. That'll be helpful. So if you take the front of the truck now, we do want to make this portion finally. You want to basically count in by 1 from each side and place andesite off the 2 middle gray concrete from there. You should essentially create a 4x4 square without the corners, like so. And it'll be a block off each side. In those corners, you're going to place andesite stairs. You should be able to figure out the direction, hopefully, just based on the way you would want it to face. There's nothing weird going on here. We're not, like, doing that. But you just kind of want a kind of bad circle, but a circle nonetheless. Extending forward from that, you'll just place a 4x4 of gray concrete directly off of it, which looks like that. It's kind of hard to see it because of the andesite, or because of the gray on gray. And then you can extend that gray concrete out on each side by 1 to create a 6x6, and this also connected into the wheel wells to some extent. Then extend the gray concrete on all sides but the right, forward by 2. We don't like the right side. I'm just kidding. There's nothing against the right side. It's just there's a little bit of something going on there, and I don't know why, but it's there. So you should have this. On the right side, you want to, going bottom to top, you'll place a gray concrete, 2 block of coal, and a gray concrete in this middle row, and then the front row is just all gray. If you look back from the front, you should have a, like, perfect, almost, like, slot. Reminds me of, like, a portal. Like, those, fancy portal slots where you have to put specifically the cubes in them. Anyway, you want to go diagonally, forward diagonally in from that with a little square of gray concrete, which should be a 4x4. Extend that gray concrete forward a row. And then the center here, you'll fill in with oak planks. Off the oak planks, you'll place polished deep side stairs in such a manner to basically almost trim around the oak. So at the top right, it's an upside down stair facing right. Top left, upside down stair facing... I guess it'd be top left, upside down stair facing right. Top right, upside down stair facing left. Bottom left, a stair facing right. And then bottom right, a stair facing left. I apologize. I love not knowing things. You should have this. That's like the main bulk of this thing done, honestly. I mean, there's some details to do, but that's basically what the truck looks like if you were to take off anything that's really interesting. You can clear your inventory and just really quickly get out deep side tile slabs, and these wheel wells here on the front, that's the That's the name, right? Okay, it just came to me randomly, whatever. The backmost one, you'll bring the deep set tile slab at the top in by 1. I love how when I'm thinking about it, I can't get it, but then I just, like, kind of say it randomly and I get it. It's brilliant. Anyway, oh hey, look, it's me. I think I want to do the banner letters, which are on that side right there. Actually, they might be on both sides. I think they're on both. Yeah, they are. So, you want to get out gray banners, a loom, and then you want gray dye, yellow dye, white dye, and I am going to tell you to get out bamboo buttons because they will be useful here. So place your loom on the floor and put your first gray banner in. And you want to, we're going to start by making the R. We're going to make them in order. You want to start by doing the white line down the left, which is pale Dexter. And then still with white, you're going to do the diagonal line from top left to bottom right, which is just bend. Then you're going to put in your gray and do the full top half as gray, which is per fess. Then you're going to put in your white dye, and you're going to do the line through the center, which is just fess. And then you'll do your, put your yellow dye in, and you'll do the line at the top, which is chief fess. There's your R banner. I'll place them down as we do them, because why not? Put in your next gray banner, and you want to start by, actually I should be able to do this one without even checking. Put in your white dye, and you want to do the line down the left again, which is pale Dexter, and then line across the bottom, which is base fess. Put in your gray, and again do the full top half as gray, which is per fess, and then you're going to put in your white, and do the line to the middle, which is fess. Then put in your yellow, and do the top line at the top as yellow, which is cheap fess. There's your E. Next one, I could also probably do this one without checking. Put in your white dye, and you want to do the line down the left, which is pale Dexter. Put in your gray and do the full top half as gray, which is per fess. Then put in your white and do the line through the middle, which is fess. Then put in your yellow and you want to do the line across the top, which is cheap fess. There's your P. And I'll get rid of the loom, I guess, so I have another slot. Then you can get, or you can put in your next gray banner and put in your white dye. And you want to do line across bottom, which is base fess. Then line down the right and left, which is pale Sinister and pale Dexter. I had to think about that. Then you'll do the full top half with gray, which is per fess. And then you'll do the line at the top with yellow, which is base, or chief fess, excuse me. And that's your O. The O line is lower. I just couldn't do anything about it. It's because these have the line going to the middle on all of them, but of course the O doesn't have that. If it was like a B or something, I'd be perfect, but you know, it's not. So you live and you learn, unfortunately, except we're not learning, we're just living. So yeah, you should have the 4 banners, and they should be in the order we need them. So if you direct your attention to really either side, I guess I'm going to start with the right side because, you know, that one kind of is more the side that we're looking at. You want to be in line with the top half of the window and count back to the 3rd gray concrete behind it. On this block, you'll place your R banner. Going right, leave a gap of 1. E, gap of 1. P, gap of 1. O. To the right of each of those banner letters off the bottom half of them, you'll place bamboo buttons, which just, you know, is little periods. I thought about doing it with a banner, but I thought the buttons made more sense because they're centered. On the opposite side, if you again trace the top half of the window all the way back this time to this gray concrete and then count forward by 1, you'll go forward and do the same thing. R, gap, E, gap, P, gap, O, and you'll place your bamboo buttons right at the bottom of each. Nice. I don't think we need the bamboo buttons for anything else. God forbid, though. Yeah, okay, we don't. You can clear your inventory and get out the following. Oak buttons. Mangrove buttons. Oak sign. Pale oak sign. Diorite walls. Pale oak trapdoors. Stone slabs. Stone blocks. And I guess iron bars. That's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. So on the right and left, specifically, you have the... Okay, well, I would recommend looking at the right first, because you have the andesite here, this row of 3, and underneath the backmost andesite, you want to place a mangrove button on this gray concrete, and then you do want to mirror that on the other side, just because obviously you don't have the andesite over there, so... On the top polished deep slates on either side, the top 2 corners, you'll place mangrove buttons off of them. And in addition, if you look at the top of the truck, at the front 2 gray concrete corners at the, again, very top here on this uppermost row, we're not looking at these walls, you're going to place a mangrove button either corner there. You'll also place one on the front right andesite. This thingy at the front, it's very descriptive. In each of the 4 corners that you want to place a mangrove button off the right and left. So it'll be this kind of top right, and then the, I guess, top left and bottom left. The bottom right or back bottom corner you can't place a button off of because, you know, there's a deep slate tile there. But it should look like this from both sides, basically. From the 2 top buttons, you want to go in with pale oak signs off of the gray concrete until you essentially just like hit where the wall goes either in or out a row like so. It does say repo there as well, but I thought the banner letters just looked weird and they weren't quite fitting properly, so I just removed them. On the very front, top right hand corner off this gray concrete, you'll place an oak button. Bottom right, an oak sign. And that's all of that done. Now, we have the satellite to do, and obviously a couple of other things. But we'll start with the satellite because, yeah, and then we obviously have those antennae you see and the underside. On this 3x3 of andesite, you want to take the middle right one and place a diorite wall on top. On top of that, you'll place a pale oak trapdoor just kind of sitting there. And then off of the, I guess, front and back of it, you'll crouch place pale oak trapdoors that are opened up against it, which will kind of give you this almost Y shape. It would be how I would have made the Y on Playtime Co., actually. Just, instead of a fence, it's a wall. Above each of these 3 trapdoors, you can crouch place off of them a row of stone, which is going to be a row of 3. Extend that row of stone down diagonally right by 2. And then off each of the bottom 2 stones, front and back, you'll place an opposite on stone slab with a slab on top. From the top row of stone, you'll place an iron bar extending to the right, and then a diorite wall. You're going to do a bunch of things with this wall. You're extending it forward and backward with iron bars, which those iron bars will be brought down by 1, and you're also extending that diorite wall up by 1. Get rid of, we're going to go with stone and stone slabs, and you want to get out redstone torches and grindstones, and you need a lot of grindstones here. Although I don't think they're expensive, which is kind of nice. So if you take the back center andesite here, you want to bring it up with 5 iron bars. And then place a redstone torch on top. I never noticed how perfectly that lined up. I mean, the torch is a little bit wider, but also the texturing of the torch is clipping through itself, so maybe I shouldn't really be considering that. But anyway, out of the polished deep slate here, you want to take, not the frontmost row, but the row behind it, and out of the middle 2 blocks, you'll be taking the left one specifically, and you want to extend that up with 4 iron bars, and then a redstone torch. Direct your attention to the underside of the truck or vehicle or whatever you want to call it. And so each of the wheels have a 2-block center. The only one that kind of is weird here is the front one. If you take the front set of wheels and the back, like top right blackstone stair, you want to crouch place 3 grindstones off either, or I guess 2 grindstones, excuse me, off of either top right blackstone stair, and they should kind of connect like this. From the rest of the tires, you're taking the andesite walls at the bottom here and bringing them in with 3 grindstone walls each off of each other, and it'll give you these kinds of rows. And you can electrify around, you can just literally walk around, as in electrify under, I guess I should say, but yeah. This is weird because I actually couldn't get an image of the underside. I used a free cam mod to get out in the shop, and the truck is a different model than the one on the menu, and I wanted the one where the wheels were lifted, so you know. If you end up making, like, the map around this or something, you'll just have the little ramp at the end, and you'll either have to raise the floor, or you could, like, push this into the ground. Like, just to honestly cut off the wheels, get the bottom out of here, we don't need it. But the wheels are pushed up, it's kind of weird, like, they almost clip through the window, which I'm assuming is why the windows are closed. Anyway, between the back 3 tires specifically, you want to take the middle 2 grindstone rows, and again, you're going to crouch place off of these center grindstones, parallel trap doors that are opened up against each other to create these lines, essentially. And you see if I place them here, if I crouch place, and then I open them all, you see they'll kind of make a slightly thicker line. I'll show you from the underside here, like so. And yeah, you want to do that between these back 3, and again, you're just really not connecting the front 2, because that works a little bit differently. We do still have the same thing to be concerned about, but you know, and again, you can do what I'm doing, where you just use the trapdoors to be able to crawl. Oh, okay, that's really good enough. Doesn't really look a ton different, but yeah, it does give you an axle, so. At the front between these 2, this one you can kind of see, which is why I do this one differently. But you want to basically place the same trapdoors off of the center of the first set, like so. You'll also bring it forward by 2 from the tires behind you, and you should just be left with a gap of 1 between, where you're going to place the trapdoors just pushed up a block instead, so they're up against the gray, like so. That's the exterior of the truck done. Now, I'm assuming most of you are here for the interior as well, so I am going to show you how to make that. You can clear your inventory, and there's one thing we do need to do to actually kind of finish up the exterior first. You want to get out mud, andesite walls, sandstone walls, blackstone walls, light gray concrete, whoopsies, cyan terracotta, stone stairs, stone blocks, and we're gonna go with dispensers, I think. We'll kind of trade around as we go. Either dispensers or droppers, actually, it doesn't matter. I used droppers originally, but I'll use dispensers here. So head to the back of the truck, and first thing you want to do is at the top here, on the very back row, you want to place a row of mud right here. This is the ceiling row, but it still is there. Below that, you'll place a row of andesite walls, and then below that, you'll do alternating blackstone and sandstone walls. It might be advised to use night vision here. I mean, it's not a huge deal because it's still bright enough, but I am going to use night vision so you guys can see better what I'm doing rather than just decent. So from this point, if you take the end row of cyan terracotta at the bottom here, you want to extend this back with 6 light gray concrete. Extend the final light gray concrete up by 4, or just up until the ceiling, alternatively. And you're doing this on both sides. In the corner light gray concrete in front here, you'll place another light gray concrete, and then the walls in front of this will be entirely cyan terracotta. Except you don't need the top row here, because as you can see where the mud is, that's going to be the full ceiling. Although it's not entirely mud, hence why we haven't placed it entirely. In front of the bottom light gray on both sides, you'll place 3 stone extending forward, and then you'll be in line with the polished deep set from there if that's important. Above those rows of stone, you'll place rows of upside down stone stairs, then right side up stone stairs, then stone blocks, then upside down stone stairs. Behind that, on either side, you'll place a full row of 5 cyan terracotta. Extend the bottom cyan terracotta back by 7. And then this end one can be brought up by 4. Connect the cyan terracotta at the top there. And then the bottom row you want to fill in with dispensers. The only thing, or droppers, either or. The only thing you want to make sure is that the front isn't facing either like towards the center of the truck or up/down. You don't want this because you don't want this part of the block. Actually, I know it's not for this, but You might be able to use that for the next step. But anyway, yeah, I'm just going to crouch place them in a line at the bottom here, going, like, facing kind of towards the wall, like so. I guess, yeah, like, towards the... facing front to back. At the back, you're going to place cyan terracotta, filling the rest of this in. Make sure you don't cover up any of the window, that stair included. You could use the dispensers here facing upward, but I'm going to use pistons, and what you want to do from this backmost row of cyan terracotta at the base is place a piston moving in facing what is technically forward, but we're going to call it backwards because the front is the back of the truck here. Extend either side up with 4 cyan terracotta. Between the pistons, you'll place blackstone walls and sandstone walls, basically alternating, which there's only 2, so it's not really hard. And then you'll place 3 andesite walls on top of either. Get rid of your andesite walls, sandstone walls, and light gray concrete, and get out polished tough stairs, deep slate brick stairs, and polished andesite. So above the door we just made, you'll place polished tough stairs facing backward towards you, I guess. Where the polished deep slate stairs are on the outside for the windows, you'll bring them in with an opposite on polished tough stair. Just to kind of match the color, almost. It doesn't quite match perfectly, but it's as close as you'll get. Now, where the stone stairs here are on the side are on the left and right, you want to place a row of polished andesite on top and then connect it together. So it'll just be 3 rows, I suppose. The rest of the ceiling is going to be filled in with mud just off of the roof of the truck. And yeah, this is a really weird vehicle, I'm not gonna lie. Just very, very strange. Like, overall. Should have this. At the left and the right, the first row of cyan terracotta beyond the stone at the top, you'll place an upside down deep slate brick stair facing in. Extend it back with 2 upside down stone stairs. Upside down deep slate brick stair. 2 upside down stone stairs, and then an upside down deep slate brick stair. And nice, that's the like layout and just shape of the truck done. Now, would we clear inventory here? Yeah, we can clear inventory. And we're gonna work from the actual front and just kind of work our way until we're free. But you want to start at the back here and get out the following materials. Skeleton skulls. Bamboo slabs, which we're going to use for planks just because. Pale oak signs. Oh, my shoulder just popped. That was weird. End rods. Polished andesite slabs. Polished andesite stairs. Diorite walls. Whatever those are, trial spawners. I like didn't. There's like 3 versions. I don't know what I'm looking at. And anyway, you'll then get cyan terracotta. So, starting at the back here, which again is technically the front, but it's the back in our eyes. You want to place skeleton skulls off of the 2 polished tough stairs over the door. To the right of the top of the door, you'll place a bamboo plank off the cyan terracotta. Behind that, a bamboo slab, and then bring that bamboo slab down to the ground with planks. Off the front of the plank at eye level, you'll place a pale oak sign. Just like a little patch. I'm assuming it's like an access patch, but I don't know, like an access panel, not patch. Words just aren't coming today. From the bottom bamboo plank, you'll go back with an upside down polished andesite slab, along with forward with 2. In front of that, you'll place an upside down polished andesite stair facing left. Yeah, I was in fact correct. I think this video would be a long one. That's good to know. Heading in, or I guess directing your attention to the ceiling, where the skeleton skulls are, you want to count forward by 1, and off this first upside down stone stair on either side, you'll place end rods moving in. You'll then leave a gap of 1 moving forward from that and place a 2x2 of diorite walls. We're going to ignore that you can just see directly through the center because that's not the point here. The point is that this is the like little orb that heals you at the end of the day. Directly in front of that, you'll place off this final upside down stone stair another set of end rods. A block behind that on the floor in the center, 2 off the cyan terracotta, you'll place polished andesite slabs. In front of that, you want a full row of trial spawners, then a full row of cyan terracotta, then a full row of polished andesite slabs. You can then clear your inventory and get out dark oak trapdoors, light gray carpet, painting, stone brick walls, dark oak sign, black banners, or a black banner, I guess, birch buttons, gray concrete, and light gray concrete. So starting here on this row of cyan terracotta, at the left and right you'll place dark oak trapdoors, and on the middle two you'll place light gray carpet. On the left side off of the middle top upside down stone stair, you'll place a dark oak trapdoor open up against the back of, or the, yeah, I guess, yeah, the back of that polished andesite. Off the back of that, you'll place a 1x1 painting. I prefer it to be the black and white one, but it doesn't really matter. There's none that are, like, quite right, because generally it's black and orange, or it either has taxman's face or a number on it. But I have that one. From the frontmost stone block on this top row of stone, you'll place a stone brick wall off of it with another one in front. That's a lot of stone. On the right side above this dark oak trapdoor and off this stone stair, you'll place a dark oak sign. If you look at it, you'll count up diagonally right by one and place a black banner here. If you want, you can put this in a loom and do the light gray, or with light gray dye, do the border pattern just to make it a little bit thinner because it's not entirely thick. Or you could do line down left, line down right, and then the border for the thin line at the top and bottom. It's up to you. Just an idea. From this point on these sides, you want to take this bottom light gray concrete corner and count forward by one and place a birch button on either side. You'll then leave a gap of 1 and place birch buttons moving forward twice on either side. Just in front of the polished andesite, you'll take the second full row of mud and place a gray concrete on either side coming down. You'll then go down diagonally forward by 1 still with gray, and you'll connect the grays together with light gray concrete. It's time for some questionable designs. Clear your inventory for, I think, the final time and get out pale oak signs, pale oak fence gates, polished deep slate stairs, and levers. And that should be everything unless I am missing something, but I shouldn't be. Yep, I got everything. I guess not an insanely detailed interior. So, first off, on the... if you were to, like, you know where you interact with the monitor on this side, so if you're standing on this little raised platform and you look back, you'll take this bottom row of light gray concrete and place pale oak signs off either block. Just nothing on them. That's the little one with the mail icon, though, and it's like, send the message to go or whatever. In front of this monitor on the left and right, you want to take the... how do I explain this? You want to be... basically, not directly above this back row of the, or this like lower row of the TV, but you're going to be another block back from that, and you'll have 2 rows of mud behind you and 1 in front of you before the TV. And you'll place a pale oak fence gate on either side, and however you want to do this, you want to open the fence gate facing towards the door behind us here. Off the back of those, or I guess in front of those, you'll place levers facing into them. Off of the top row of the TV, you'll place polished deep slate stairs facing back. That's just splendid. And off the bottom row, you'll place ups and unpolished deep slate stairs, still facing, I guess, forward, not back, but towards you, whatever. The way that you should be placing them. And anyway, once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the repo truck from, well, Repo complete. Fun tutorial. I honestly enjoyed building this. It was definitely a challenge and different to get yourself in that mind, because I'm so used to the certain scaling of games, so to have to just throw another one in and be like, yep, let's figure it out. It definitely was weird for a truck and not like an actual, you know, room. But I would like to make the repo locations. I think it's so important. I would be interested in making custom exteriors, based on the little black and white art we get, and just, you know, coloring it and doing whatever. But anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, if you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know you're interested in me making a repo, because, you know, I don't want to start a project if nobody's gonna be interested. And anyway, with that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, I should have expected that it took my emoji. Bye.